Hi everybody, I have a project to share with you today. We are working through our American history units and we're really enjoying this book by Chris Bordessa called Great Colonial American Projects, and we are going to be making our version of this log cabin, this colonial style home. Now there's a couple different ways that you can go about doing this, but we're going to be making this with some products that you can find at the dollar store, so it's a very easy, affordable project. We're going to use these wide popsicle sticks, but I happen to have some of these longer, skinnier ones in our craft supply, so we're going to use that as well. You also need a hot glue gun, or you can use tacky glue. The first thing I'm going to do is just kind of lay out a design for my son. My son is 10 years old and he is going to be working on this project, and then later on my 5-year-old is going to be inspired to make her own, which turned out really well as well. So I kind of had a design for the front and back of the cabin, and now my son is going to glue everything down, and he's making small changes, but for the most part this will be the front and the back side of the cabin. And then for the side portions, they're smaller and they do have a window, and they're both going to be the same. That way we can assemble it. It's a very simple one-room home, which would be typical in the early colonial times. So now we just want to use a lot of glue in those joints because the popsicle sticks don't come together that well in the corners, and so we're using a lot of glue just to make sure that it stays together and stays sturdy. And in the meantime, my 5-year-old has designed her own little house, and I'll show that to you at the end. She did a great job. The last thing we want to do is add a roof to this little house, and we just had some cardboard that we cut down to size and folded in half, and now we're just marking the spot where we want to cut some notches in the cardboard so that it can rest onto the house a little bit more easily, but we're going to secure it with some hot glue in those corners as well. And then we're going to do the same to the other side, and that's it. It's all done. This was a very quick project. Cost about $2 or less, and there's my daughter's. She did a fantastic version of her log cabin, and of course she decorated it with some bling. Now we had this rope bed that would have been traditional during the colonial times, and that fits inside just perfectly. Alright, so if you'd like to see some of the other projects that we did for our colonial times and our other American history units, you can click on the screen right now, and don't forget you can check out more pictures and directions on my website at pepperandpine.com.